Hello, I'm Mr. Hayes. And I'm Mr. Hayes. And this is Mr. Hayes' YouTube channel. So what is the topic of today's lesson? We're going to be looking at some of the scientific theories of the universe. What do you mean? You know how Earth, all of the solar system, our stars, the Milky Way, the hundreds of galaxies formed according to science? You said theories. Doesn't science know how it happened? Well, they are not completely sure. In most cases, they can't even answer the most basic question. Really? If there are a lot of theories and all have one unanswered question, what is it? How the original matter and everything that makes up the universe, the naturally occurring atoms was formed. Oh, I see. How you can't make something from nothing. Energy just can't be derived. That's right. The law of conservation of mass and energy both say that matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. In both instances, they only change form. That's interesting. So nobody has any idea where the original matter came from? Well, there are non-scientific theories such as intelligent design and creationism, but because they're religious in nature, doesn't science consider all the possibilities? That's interesting. In most cases, they do. But with today's technology, I guess anyone curious about these theories can research it on their own. Well, let's check out what some of our students found out about some of these scientific theories.
In the 18th century, people thought that the Earth was flat due to everything looking like a flat plane.
That is incorrect theory due to what the ball is Earth.
I know, I was about to say that.
Oh well, it's wrong.
Like I was saying, Columbus was the first one to define this theory.
Enough of that cartoon violence. The flat Earth model is a belief that the Earth's shape is a plane or disc.
Most ancient cultures have concepts of the flat Earth, including Greece until the classical period.
The Bronze Age and Iron Age civilizations of Near East until the Hellenistic period, India until the Guatemala period, and China until the 17th century.
Because they believed that the Earth was flat.
Universe theory.
So who first proposed this theory? Ptolemy theory was first proposed by Claudius Ptolemy, who worked from 127 AD and on. He used Aristotle's if-then concept to develop his own theory of what he thought the universe was.
The Ptolemy theory stated that Earth was the center of the universe.
The Ptolemy theory also stated that everything revolved around complete circles around the Earth.
What was the strength of this theory?
Even though Ptolemy's theory was incorrect, it did have some strengths to it. It did seem like from Earth that everything was rotating around the Earth.
These objects would include the sun and also the moons and other planets. Why is the theory no longer accepted? And also, what can it not explain?
Fortunately for Claudius Ptolemy, his theory is no longer accepted in the world of science. This is because the Earth is not the center of the universe, nor the center of our solar system, although the moon does rotate around us. It is actually proven because all this crazy technology that we have today with all these satellites that the sun is the center of our solar system and it's in a galaxy in a universe.
Something to the Ptolemy theory that cannot be explained is how we can see all the planets and the stars and the sun from Earth. Therefore, the Earth was placed in the center of the universe so that all objects will fall towards it in straight lines. The only objects that could not fall in straight lines, the planets and the stars, they had to move in complete circles around the Earth.
The Copernicus theory.
The Copernicus theory was presented by Nicholas Copernicus. He was born February 1473 and died May 24th, 1543.
The Copernicus theory states that all the planets rotate around the sun and that all the planets rotate on their axis.
Strengths of the Copernicus theory. The theory states that the planets rotate on their axis and revolve around the sun. These parts of the theory are true. The theory also states that the sun is the center of the universe and that there are fixed stars around our solar system. This is not true because to find the center of the universe, you'd have to find the edges, which we have not found so far, if there are any. And the stars, we know, are not fixed because all space objects move in space. Alright, let's go. Some of the theory is widely accepted today and some of it isn't. Two parts of the theory that are accepted are that the planets rotate on their axis and that the planets revolve around the sun. These have been proven by satellites, so that is why they're widely accepted. Now, the sun being the center of the universe and the stars around us being fixed are not widely accepted because you can't prove that the sun is the center of the universe because we have not reached the universe's boundaries yet, if there are any. And we have proven that the stars around our solar system are not fixed because almost everything in space moves.
Johannes Kepler proposed his idea in 4977 BC. He established his theory in 1594.
The strength of his theory was that he proposed the sun was in the middle of the universe instead of the earth. He modified Nicholas Copernicus' model by moving the planets in an elliptical orbit.
The areas he cannot explain is how the sun is in the middle of the universe. He got his theory from his observations.
Johannes Kepler proposed his idea in 4977 BC. He established his theory in 1594.
The strength of his theory was that he proposed the sun was in the middle of the universe instead of the earth. He modified Nicholas Copernicus' model by moving the planets in an elliptical orbit rather than a circular. This theory is currently not accepted because back then they only knew about 5 planets, which we know there isn't only 5 planets, and we now know that the universe doesn't revolve around the sun because there are billions of suns in the universe.
The steady-state universe was proposed in 1948 by Fred Hoyle,
Thomas Gold, and Herman Bondi.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe later on today. Oh, I'll see you later. Hello there, children. I didn't see you were there. What are you guys here for?
I think you know why we're here.
I think I know. I think you guys want to discuss the steady-state universe theory. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Let's do that. I'll tell you a little about it. The steady-state theory was a view that the universe is always expanding, but maintaining a constant average density. Matter begins continuously creating to form new stars and galaxies.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I know why you're here. You want to know about the steady-state universe theory. Well, some people from the steady-state universe theory sent me some information to share to y'all. They sent me some little details, and I'll read them to you. However, the universe continues to look the same when observation shows it to be the same expansion, would tending to thin out its contours. Absolutely, for the universe to look the same at all times, there could have been no beginning or end. Supporters of this cosmology balance, the ever decreasing density that resulted from the expansion by the hypothesizing that matter was continuously created out of nothing.
Friedman Universe Theory by Daniel N1. Hello, my name is Fiddler, but people call me Toby. And I am here to explain the Friedman Universe Theory.
What's the Friedman Universe Theory?
That's the question.
The Friedman Universe Theory was founded by Alexander Friedman in the early 1920s. He was a Russian physicist and mathematician and became the first person to embrace the idea of the equations of Einstein's general theory of relativity, called for a universe in motion. Hello. The Friedman universe begins with a Big Bang and continues expanding for untold billions of years. That's the stage we're in right now. But after a long enough period of time, the mutual gravitational attraction of all the matter slows the expansion to a stop. The universe then starts to fall in on itself, replaying the expansion in reverse. Eventually, all the matter collapses back into a singularity.
For example. Still unsure about the theory? Here's a little more detail. Although Friedman found only this one solution called a closed universe, because the size of the universe is infinite, two similar solutions exist in an open universe. There's not enough matter to bring the expansion to a halt. Galaxies continue to separate from one another, although more slowly as time passes. Eventually all stars go out and the universe becomes cold and dark.
Any questions?
Is the Friedman theory concept a currently accepted theory based on science?
Sorta, because the expansion is happening, but the contraction of the universe hasn't happened yet, and there's no proof that that is going to happen. Do you think it's true? Are we going to die in 1 trillion years? You'll find out in the next episode.
Hey guys, it's Cecilia and Julie. Today we're going to be teaching you about the anthropic universe theory, and we really hope you like it.
So what is the concept of this theory?
This theory is related to the Copernicus theory.
Nice.
Do you know who proposed the anthropic universe theory?
Yes, I do. Robert Dicke in the early 1960s proposed that the Earth could be created only in a narrow window of time. However, Brandon Carter in 1974 says it could happen whenever, but only because we have special characteristics.
That's very interesting. So Julie, do you know the strengths of this theory?
Of course. If the Earth was younger than what scientists thought, it'd be a gaseous planet, not a solid.
And what are the weaknesses?
No one is actually sure where the original matter came from.
So then, is this theory accepted in the science concept?
Sadly, no, it's not.
This sounds like a very interesting theory.
Yes, it does.
The no boundary universe theory was created by Stephen Hawking and Jim Hartle.
The theory states that the boundary condition of the universe is that it has no boundary. The universe would be completely self-contained and not affected by anything outside itself. It would be neither created or destroyed. It would just be.
Where did we come from? How did the universe begin? Why is the universe the way it is? And how will it end? Stephen Hawking had all these questions in his head throughout his life. He quotes, "All my life I have been fascinated by the big questions that face us, and I've tried to find scientific answers to them. If, like me, you have looked at the stars and tried to make sense of what you see,
You too have started to wonder what makes the universe exist. The questions are clear and deceptively simple, but the answers have always seemed well beyond our reach until now.
Time in the universe is real time, and what we call real time is just a figment of our imagination that we made up.
He predicts that our destiny relies on which force will win. He believes that there is a force pushing outward against gravity. He also thinks that gravity is trying to pull the universe together.
Basically, this theory is talking about how everything has been around forever, that it was never created, it just existed an infinity amount of years. This theory suggests that there is no ending to anything, that life will just go on forever.
What do you know? Just a big bang lying out here in space. It really is big.
Not a big bang. That's a big crunch, you stupid bang.
I'm the stupid bang. You're the stupid crunch for thinking that is a crunch.
That is obviously a crunch. Do you not see it?
I believe that is a bang because I made that.
Oh, whatever. I made it. Like, millions and millions of years ago.
Well, I made that one millions and millions and millions and billions of years ago.
Whatever. I am done with you.
Instead of arguing, why don't we go with this idea? Maybe it's a bang and a crunch. Maybe it's an oscillating theory.
What's an oscillating theory?
An oscillating theory is when the Earth starts out as a tiny little matter that they say that it is. And then it does the Big Bang. And once it's in the Big Bang, it turns into the universe, right?
Okay.
Well, once it's in the universe, it continually gradually grows. And once it gets to a certain point, it stops growing. And it shrinks all back together in a big crunch, where you come in. And then I come in again and I make it bang. And it just goes bang, crunch, bang, crunch.
Whatever, I'm done with you.
Well, then who came up with this?
I know, it's just so crazy. Well, the person that came up with this happened to be a scientist, Robert Dike. Robert Dike came up with this in 1965 to 1966. There's some flaws to this. And one of the flaws to this is they don't know how to explain where that one little matter came from that supposedly created the
Exactly. So, what is good about this theory?
What's good about this theory is it helps explain how the universe continually grows. And it's going on forever and ever and ever, and it's just never ending. You know what I mean? Humans still think that this is possible because there's no way to tell if the big crunch is going to happen or not. Crunch? Crunch! What's the matter? Do I need to get mother?
Like we say. Crunch is gonna die. If all these humans think that that's acceptable, ugh.
I know. Oh, well, I have an appointment with the doctor. He said that I'm not making a big enough bang yet. So, I need to train myself. So, see you later. Bye, Crunch.
Ever live with these humans thinking that it's both of us? It's just crunch in my mind.
The Big Bang Theory, the theory that the universe originated 20 billion years ago from the cataclysmic explosion of a small mass of matter at extremely high density and temperature. What it is saying was at one time the world was created by smaller particles and then turned into bigger ones. Evidence to support the Big Bang Theory. The galaxies are still moving apart. The proportion of atoms found in the universe is what would be expected from this sort of explosion. Scientists can still see the remains from the explosion's flash. And the weaknesses of this theory is that scientists don't know what started it, leaving the problem of how something can come from nothing. Explosions led to chaos, not order. It is considered accepted to science because they have also found strong evidence, but they still haven't figured out what started it.
When was this theory proposed and by who?
It was developed in 1927 by George Lemaitre.
He was the first person to propose the theory of the expansion of the universe and later discovered by Edwin Hubble in the 1929. Extra facts! If the distance between the galaxy cluster is increasing today, everything must have been closer together in the past. This idea has been considered in detail back in the time to extreme density and temperatures, and large particle accelerators have been built to experiment on and test such conditions, resulting in significant confirmation of this model. On the other hand, these accelerators must have limited capacity to deploy into such high energy regions. There is little evidence regarding the absolute earliest instant of the expansions. Here's some pictures to show you. Thanks for watching!
Copernicus. Kemperis. I'm so confused, Mr. Hayes. Nicholas Kemperis?
Copernicus.
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 You're choking up, Thomas. Okay.
I feel like Eminem.
I'm gonna be like, so Julie, do you know the strengths of this theory?
Yes, of course. That's why we here.
You dumb stuff. Prove it to me. Okay, shoot that again. Okay, ready?
Universe. Theory.
That's our introduction.
You lead. Alright, go.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Juan, and I'm here to describe the theories of the Earth. And what the Friedman theory is the theory that we're going to talk about today, and it is called the Friedman theory.